Good morning, students. How are you? I hope you all are fine. Fine now? Okay. Today we are going to discuss an important part of the executive. It is fourth chapter of your political science book, Indian Constitution at Work. So today we will discuss about the President of India. First, tell me, who is the President of India? Imagine in your mind, because you are not audible to me. Okay, he is Shri Ramnath Kovind. He is the President of India. So, what qualifications are required for being elected as the President of India? There are some simple qualifications for being the President of India, like he must be a citizen of India. That means one who is not born in India cannot be President of India. Number two, he must be able to be elected as member of either house, either Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha. Number three, he must not be a bankrupt. So these are the major qualifications for being elected as the president. And the president is elected for the term of 5 years. Then there is a question, can he be removed from the time being completed? So, in slide the spelling of how is wrong. I have seen this right now. Sorry for this mistake. How HOW, it should be here. Now, to remove the president, there is a special procedure. There is a special procedure to remove the president, that is known as impeachment. In this impeachment, the charges are imposed by one house and the second house investigate it. And if the charges are proved, then the process of impeachment begins. But president can give his answer either through being present himself or through his representative. But he cannot be forced or he cannot be summoned to be present in the house, or even any court cannot summon the president to be present before him. So, this is the procedure. The process has been made so difficult because no party who is in majority may not disturb him just being in power, because the party is in power, so they may disturb him. It cannot be allowed. Okay. Now we come to powers of the president. The powers of president can be discussed in different ways, like legislative power, executive power, and many other powers. So, first we will discuss executive power or powers of the president. First, tell me what is executive. Do you understand? Executive means who execute. So, in Article 53, the executive power have been mentioned, the executive power of the president. Like, he can appoint the governors of the state, he can appoint the prime minister, the head of the government in India, and his cabinet ministers also. He appoints ambassador to the other countries, as well as ambassador as well as higher commissioners, because in Commonwealth country we don't send ambassador, we send high commissioners, though the post is same, no difference between it, but still the name, the ambassador who go to Commonwealth countries, they are called high commissioners. Now we come to legislative power. There are so many legislative powers of the president, like no bill can be introduced in the House without the permission or consent of the president. Secondly, the bill which is passed by the House, that is also sent to the president. After his consent, it becomes a law. Then president can keep this bill for indefinite period if he is not satisfied with the bill. He has some objection or he needs some clarification, then the bill again sent to the parliament, and in this way a bill becomes a law. President has power to issue an ordinance, but as earlier discussed, he can use his power only after the advice of the Council of Ministers and the Prime Minister. So, in this way, ordinance is also issued in the name of the president. Now we come to judicial power. Judicial power, actually judicial means as a head of the state. President has judicial power also, like he appoints the Chief Justice and other judges of the Supreme Court, as well as the judges of the and the Chief Justice of the High Court. Their appointment is made in the name of the president. Second, president can seek advice on any issue or any bill from the Supreme Court as well as the constitutional experts. In same way, if a person who has been punished as the death sentence by the courts, by Supreme Court, then president can forgive him or reduce his punishment. But for doing so, he is not totally free. He has to take advice or he had to consult the Supreme Court or the constitutional expert as well as the government. So, in this way, this is judicial power of the president. Next is financial power. In financial power, the president can declare financial emergency in the nation in case of shortage of money or due to some recession, which we call Arthik Mandi. In case of this situation, like these days, you are seeing that economic activities have been stopped due to COVID-19, and the production in the whole world has stopped. Trade is not in progress. So in this way, when in such conditions, when country is passing through some economic crisis, then he can declare financial emergency also. When he orders financial emergency in the nation, then many expenses or many unnecessary expenses or which can be avoided, such expenses are immediately stopped. In that case, governor of the state can take advice or can send the bill to the president for his consent, whether this bill is to be signed or not. In that condition, if there is financial crisis or financial problem in the nation, the salaries of the government employees can also be reduced. Like a few days back, you have read in the newspaper that the 30% salary of the members of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha has been reduced. Now they will be paid 30% less salary. So in this way, such financial powers can be used by the president. Next is emergency power. Emergency power, that these powers are rarely used by the president. These powers are used in case of some internal disputes or attack from outside. If some other country attack on our country, in that time emergency can be imposed, or due to some internal disturbance, or the government may feel that there is some problem in the nation. In that case, like terrorism or some other problem, internal disturbance, in that case, president can declare emergency in the nation. Now, I hope this topic is very clear to you. Now, let me tell you one important thing. What is the salary and other perks of the president? The president gets 5 lakh rupees per month as the salary. Yes, 5 lakh rupees per month as salary. And many other allowances and perks are paid to him. When he is working as the president, he lives in the president house known as Rashtrapati Bhavan. And after a retirement, he is allotted a bungalow, but with him, either in president house or in the other house, only his wife and the per member of his family who are dependent on him, only they can live with him. Except these, wherever he travels, all expenses are borne by the government. His telephone bill, electricity bill are also borne by the government because he is head of the state. And in this way, the president has so many powers. Now we come to vice president. The qualification of president or vice president both are same. Tenure is also same. He is elected for the period of 5 years, and removing processor is also same as for the president. Now, perks a bit less than the president, because vice president is the nominated head or speaker of the Rajya Sabha. Vice president is the nominated speaker of the Rajya Sabha. So, he conducts all the proceeding of the Rajya Sabha. Now, what are his powers? When he is vice president, he treats only those issues which are sent to him. Otherwise, he will work only as the speaker of the Rajya Sabha. But in case of ailment of the president, or the president is out of country, means when president is not doing his work, then the vice president acts as the president. And when the vice president works as the president, he gets all the facilities which are used or which are provided to the president, or which are used by the president. In this way, vice president is also an important part of the executive. I hope now this topic is very clear to you. Still, if you have any problem, you can text me or you can WhatsApp me, as you all have my number. Okay, thank you. In my next lecture, I will conclude this chapter. Thank you, beta. Okay.